Hi, my name is Ruben and this is my review for The House with a Clock in Its Walls. The House with a Clock in Its Walls is directed by Eli Roth, the same man who brought us Cabin Fever, Hostel Part 1 and 2 and Death Wish. So to say I was a little bit surprised that he directed this film is an understatement.
Hello. The
House with a Clock in Its Walls is based on a fantasy novel by John Bellairs and was originally released in 1973.
I presume.
It's about Louis Bonnevalt, played by the very young and talented Owen Vaccaro, who is sent to Michigan to live with his uncle Jonathan after losing his parents. He discovers that his uncle, played by Jack Black, is a warlock and soon becomes a young apprentice to his uncle and then starts to learn the ways of warlocking. I'm not sure that's a word, but we'll go with it. Louis learns of Louis learns of an evil wizard named Isaac Izard who wanted to cause the end of the world. To do this, he constructed a magical clock with blood magic, and this is where the title comes from. As long as it exists, it will keep ticking, counting down to the end of the world. Thankfully, Izard died before he could finish the clock. Since then, Jonathan Bonnevalt and Mrs. Zimmerman, played by Cate Blanchett, Jonathan's neighbor, best friend, and powerful in the magics herself, protect the house and try to find the clock itself.
That's safe.
I took my whole family to watch this in one of the early previews and we all loved it, which I think says a lot. The film is relatable and fun for a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old and two youngish parents. Jack Black and Cate Blanchett on screen together is a thing of beauty. Every single line between them is fun and their friendship is totally believable. Jack Black seems to feed off of Cate's superb acting skills and Cate Blanchett has fantastic comedic timing along with Jack. I loved every single second with them on screen. For a big budget film, this film really felt quite indie-like. Most of the adventures had inside this house, and I think the fact that the director Eli Roth insisted on having as many real sets as possible before green screen really adds to the authenticity of this film and why it feels indie-like. Of course there are big CGI moments, but most of the film is grounded with real tangible sets. And talking about the director, obviously horror is where this director has had a lot of experience. But this film is a 12, so you may be thinking exactly how scary can a 12 be? Eli has created some very creepy moments in this magic-filled adventure. The puppets and bad guy all feel like they're really pushing the boundaries of what you can have in a 12. I personally think this is his best film that he's directed in a long time. Okay. My 13-year-old said to me at the end of the film, I wonder how much research they did into their actual spells and magics and things. Because for him, this film had a real air of authenticity. For him, it felt quite real. And I think that's probably one of the best compliments you can give to a film. When you enjoyed it so much, you question things and you wonder how they did it. That's a good thing.
It's quite different here.
If you're a Harry Potter fan and are awaiting the next installment for Fantastic Beasts, then this probably sates all your Harry Potter needs. In fact, this film did remind me a lot of Harry Potter and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and the Lemony Snicket Netflix series. Wrong! I think if you took the look and tones of those and added in Jack Black's superb comedic timing and Cate's fantastic on-screen presence, then you have the adventure that is The House with a Clock in Its Walls. The house itself, of course, is probably the main character. Everything seems to come alive and change with the magic imbued within it. And you never really understand what is going on, and I think that's a really good thing. You don't always need to know everything about everything. Instead, you are thrust into a magical world inside this house where normal rules don't apply. This was an aspect to the film that I think just added another layer to a film that was already good. The film starts with adventure and ends with adventure, and then somewhere in the middle, you just kind of fall in love with the characters. And that's all I really want to say on it, so that you can experience it fresh and unspoiled. It's not very often these days that you feel like you've seen something fresh and new. This was one of those times for us as a family. I've been asked by a few in the comments to start giving my reviews for films and TV series a rating rather than put it in a section. So as of today, our rating system will be from F to A+. So The House with a Clock in Its Walls gets a B+. I hope you enjoyed my review and found it informative. Talking about fantasy adventure, my first fantasy adventure novel called Faze is being published on the 21st of September. If you like this movie, Harry Potter and Narnia, then you'll probably like my book. For a free sample, click the link in the description below, and remember, live long and Tuesday.